It's often only in the lies we refuse to speak that any truth can be heard at all. To be heroic is to be courageous enough to die for something. To be inspirational is to be crazy enough to live a little. Don't look so worried. Most successful missions are just a series of barely averted disasters. Success always hugs you in private, but failure slaps you in the public. By helping others, we expand our joy and fly like we were born to do so. Few among men are they who cross to the further shore. The others merely run up and down the bank on this side. Take risks, make bold decisions, and enjoy the journey of leaving your own unique mark in this world. There are some choices you can only make once. You can't go back to where you made a choice and then take the other one. If you place your head in a lion's mouth, then you cannot complain one day if he happens to bite it off. The greatest step towards a life of simplicity is to learn to let go. Nevertheless, life and death are mysterious states, and we know little of the resources of either. Better to illuminate than merely to shine, to deliver to others contemplated truths than merely to contemplate. You were given life. It is your duty to find something beautiful within life, no matter how slight. You see me walking away, I see myself walking towards greatness. The nail that sticks out farthest gets hammered the hardest. There are no random acts. We are all connected. You can no more separate one life from another than you can separate a breeze from the wind. Focus on making choices to lead your life that aligns with your core values in the most purposeful way possible. To pay attention, this is our endless and proper work. My biggest fault is that the faults I was born with grow bigger each year. Anyone can hide. Facing up to things, working through them, that's what makes you strong. We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. When you go in search of honey, you must expect to be stung by bees. Delayed gratification is the bridge between your present sacrifices and your future abundance. What would come, and you would have to meet it when it did. Forgiveness doesn't have to be when they are sorry, but when you show compassion to those who don't deserve it. Success is something you experience when you act accordingly. Success is not something you have, it's something you do. It would be a much more blooming world if we share with others whatever good we have in us. Those who bring sunshine to the lives of others cannot keep it from themselves. He who is not satisfied with a little is satisfied with nothing. I'll be happy if running and I can grow old together. Be a lamp, or a lifeboat, or a ladder. Help someone's soul heal. Walk out of your house like a shepherd. It's a strange myth that atheists have nothing to live for. It's the opposite. We have nothing to die for. We have everything to live for. One must always be prepared for riotous and endless waves of transformation. Those who rest when they need to work will work when they need to rest. Do your bit when it is most rewarding. One does no question miracles, or complain that they are no constructed perfectly to one's liking. Do good, live in the most positive and joyful way possible every day. The people we consider successful in our society are all people that seize every moment and make the best of each situation. There must always be a remedy for wrong and injustice if we only know how to find it. Life is dear to every living thing. The worm that crawls upon the ground will struggle for it. Time puts everything in its proper place, and whatever is misplaced is already on the way to where it belongs. Whoever said that the past isn't dead had it backward. It's the future that's already dead, already played out. Before I can tell my life what I want to do with it, I must listen to my life telling me who I am. Great men are like eagles, and build their nest on some lofty solitude. Some people avoid thinking deeply in public, only because they're afraid of coming across as suicidal. The truth is found when men are free to pursue it. Time is simply the measurement of human progression against that of existence. A truth is what it is. A lie, a thought-out deception more brutal than a truth could ever be. When one experiences truth, the madness of finding fault with others disappears. There is desire in the perfect, beauty in the imperfect. Thus I lust over the flawless, and fall amorously forceless to the flawed. There is no truth on this island of yours. Rather, there are as many truths as there are stars in the sky, and every one of them different. The sky is the limit. For some people, aim higher. Nothing is impossible. Some people talk in their sleep. Lecturers talk while other people sleep. We all know we're one day closer to the end when we wake up in the morning. We just kid ourselves that it's not happening. Doing the right things is a calling from your highest self. Do it as you are. Never limit your view of life by any past experience. In a time of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. Spread kindness, caring, and compassion and create your own paradise. Infuse it with joy, and you've created heaven on earth. We could never learn to be brave and patient if there were only joy in the world. Truth is not something outside to be discovered, it is something inside to be realized. Fortune does favor the bold, and you'll never know what you're capable of if you don't try. So shut up, live, travel, adventure, bless, and don't be sorry. It's easy to talk big, but the important thing is whether or not you clean up the shit. Disappointment came to me and booted me and bruised and hurt me, but that's how people grow up. The teacher who is indeed wise does not bid you to enter the house of his wisdom, but rather leads you to the threshold of your mind. Then I realized that most of the world's problems stemmed from macho dickheadism, and if I cold defeat that I could save the world. Do you not then hear this horrible scream all around you that people usually call silence? Once you had put the pieces back together, even though you may look intact, you were never quite the same as you'd been before the fall. Whereof one cannot speak, thereof one must be silent. In every walk with nature one receives far more than he seeks. It's strange how dreams get under your skin and give your heart a test for what's real and what's imaginary. Some days are like this, and the only way to get through them is to remember that they are only one day and that every day ends. Today, I bent the truth to be kind, and I have no regret, for I am far surer of what is kind than I am of what is true. Being afraid to take chances is scarier than actually doing things that challenge you. Unless we learn to know ourselves, we run the danger of destroying ourselves. An unexciting truth may be eclipsed by a thrilling falsehood. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. It's a lack of clarity that creates chaos and frustration. Those emotions are poison to any living goal. Those who have failed to work toward the truth have missed the purpose of living. You can never get a cup of tea large enough or a book long enough to suit me. If you don't behave as you believe, you will end by believing as you behave. We must live together as brothers or perish together as fools. It never failed to amaze me how the most ordinary day could be catapulted into the extraordinary in the blink of an eye. When you are measuring life, you are not living it. Keep the fight in your veins, honey. Never let it fade. Choosing kindness is the ultimate expression of evolved consciousness. Grow by being kind. Take advantage of it now, while you are young, and suffer all you can, because these things don't last your whole life. You have to rely on whatever sparks you have inside. The journey is what brings us happiness, not the destination. Life happens, shit happens, and it happens a lot, to a lot of people. If you need something from somebody, always give that person a way to hand it to you. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. In reality, there are no persons, only threads of memories and habits. At the moment of realization, the person ceases. The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams. To think too long about doing a thing often becomes its undoing. Even if there is a small lie in the truth you're telling, it will make the truth questionable. You've never lived what you were thinking, and that isn't good. Only the ideas we actually live are of any value. Even in the far future, never forget that you have right now. Wherever you are right now, you're just taking a break. Take courage, my heart. You have been through worse than this. Be strong, saith my heart. I am a soldier. I have seen worse sights than this. Truth is that which makes a people certain, clear, and strong. To realize the truth, you have to cross the boundaries of all religions and prophets.